Hi everyone, welcome to today's class. I'm trying yet another setup to see if this works better. So instead of being super far back, we're lower. It's not going to fix the light problems, I can already tell. But anyway, we'll see how it goes. I hope you all are doing well. I hope you've had a good week so far. I know things are just continuing to not be great, but hopefully we can get some endorphins flowing and feel a little bit better. As per usual, I think I said I was going to change up the format this week and I didn't. So same format. Sorry, it's been a wild week and I haven't had time to do much else. But you'll need hand weights as always. Light to medium weight, whatever you usually use, we're going to keep using those. Whatever equipment you have extra, bring it along. I've got a couple dumbbells and kettlebells, things like that. No leg bands needed today. So yeah, whatever you have on hand, bring along. Mat, water, usual. All right, let's get stretched out, warmed up. We'll see if this works at all. Okay. Same warm up as always. We're doing 10 arm circles back and 10 arm circles forward. Happy Wednesday, by the way. I honestly don't know why people get excited about Wednesday. It's like hump day. Like, yes, it's halfway through the week, but it almost makes it like the worst day because you've got like the accumulation of stress from Monday and Tuesday when you're not fresh from the weekend anymore. And then you still have 2 days left. So it's like everything packed in on Wednesday. I'm lucky in that I freaking love my job and the work that I do. So I feel fine, but like, yeah, I just feel bad for those who are grinding constantly. All right, I'm gonna shut up now. Wide leg stance, leaning forward towards the floor. As always, if you can't reach the ground, you can use a yoga block, a book, any kind of buffer that you can put your hands on and that's stable. And then we are rotating up towards the ceiling for 5 on each side, feeling a nice stretch, probably through the inside of your legs, of your thighs, through the back. Take your time with this. Stretching should never be rushed. All right, maintaining that wide leg stance, we're coming down into our side lunge stretch. So sitting back and down over the heel so the knee doesn't shoot too far forward over the toe. Straight leg stays straight as an arrow, so there should be 0 bend in the knee. You feel a nice solid stretch on the inside of the thigh, up through the groin, into the hips. We're doing 5 on each side for this one as well. As always, you're only coming down as far as feels comfortable for you. So if you can't get super low, it doesn't matter as long as you're feeling a stretch. The stretch is the important part. It's probably one of my absolute favorite stretches. Maybe because I'm always tight in that area, and this just always feels good. Ooh, knee pop. Knee pop. Okay. All right, legs come together. Let's do our leg swings. Holding onto something if you need to balance. 10 swings on each side. All right, other side. Woo, falling over. All right, what are we missing? Knee pulls. Grabbing the knee, pulling in towards the stomach. If you can't reach the knee up that high, grab a belt, a scarf, a yoga band, what have you. Use that to loop around the knee and pull instead of your hands. And then just pulling up as high as you can. Let's do 6 on each side here. Okay. When you're done with your knee pulls, we're done with our warm-up. Let's get into our core work. So, as always with core work, I have my stopwatch here. So I will be timing out, hang on. Let me adjust the dang camera as per usual. Timing our 30-second intervals for core. 30 seconds on. I always take 30 seconds off, but as I always say, if you need more than 30 seconds, take more than 30 seconds, it's fine. So 3 exercises. We take breaks in between. So we're gonna start with a plank hip dip. Now, if you wanna just hold your plank on this one, high plank, low plank, whatever feels good for you, you can just hold your plank. You do not need to add the variation. You can also do a plank from the knees if being up on the toes is bothersome. So knee plank, you're here, and then hips are coming forward, hands planted right under the shoulders, so that you're holding this sort of diagonal position from the knees to the shoulders. And then you're just hanging out here. If you're up on your toes, up on the toes. If you're on your elbows, you're here. But always thinking about keeping, I can't talk today, my goodness, keeping that pelvis tucked under so that you're not arching the low back. Because otherwise you're going to feel your low back. It's not going to feel good. So if you're doing the variation along with me, we're doing some hip dips. Nice little rhyming scheme there. And basically what that means is from our plank position, we are rotating the hips side to side. So what that looks like here is from the plank, dip, 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 dip. So you can kind of pretend that there's like an axis running down the center of your body and you're rotating your hips around it. That's it. All right, let's do it. First 30 seconds, get in position, and let's go. I would recommend having the feet a little bit narrower for this, so you can make them into like a pivot point as you rotate the hips. If they're too wide, you're going to be kind of constantly shifting them back and forth, and it's going to feel weird. We've got 10 more seconds. Should feel your obliques on this one. Last 5, keep that head up. And 3, 2, 1, and break. When I say keep the head up, I don't mean up here. I just mean level with the spine. So inclination is usually to drop down. Don't do that. Okay. A little bit more break time, and then we're heading into round 2. All right, let's get in position. And 3, 2, 1, and round 2. Here we go. Make sure you're breathing. Breathing is pretty important. Halfway through. Almost there. 5 more seconds. And 3, 2, 1, and break. Okay, 30 seconds. I already need to open my window. I'm already warm. Come on. Come on. There we go. San Francisco has been having a transition into some really lovely summer-like weather. It's making me very happy. Okay, a couple more seconds to rest, and then we're heading into our very last round of hip dips. 3, 2, 1. Last one. Here we go. Halfway. Remember, you can do hip dips and then you can hold your plank. If you can't do hip dips for the whole 30 seconds, do half and half. Do a quarter and 3/4. 3, 2, 1. Mix and match is always okay in my book. Okay, don't push yourself beyond your own limits. Actually, you shouldn't even be pushing yourself to your limit. Okay, next one we're doing, sorry, I keep adjusting my clothes, everything's shifting and falling down. We're doing a sit-up to punch. So for this one, knees can be bent or not. I prefer to have my knees bent on this one. So I like doing my sit-ups from here, punch at the top, back down. If you want your legs straight, you can do that too. Or if you have a couch or a low table or a countertop or something nearby that you can hook your feet under and you want to brace your feet and do your sit-ups there, totally fine. Totally fine. Do that. But yeah, you can kind of pick which one you want to do. That's it. It's super simple. We're going for 30 seconds. When you're ready, get in position. And 3, 2, 1. Whoops. There you go. Good. Really trying to control the roll down and the roll up. These, again, should not be super fast. Keep breathing. Almost there. 5 more seconds. I think I can sneak in one more. 3, 2, 1. There we go. All right, 30 seconds to rest. And then we're heading into round 2. That fresh air feels wonderful. Okay, we're about halfway through our rest. We got a little bit more time. Then we're heading into round 2 of sit-ups. All right, get ready. In 3, 2, 1, round 2. Try to exhale as you sit up and inhale as you're coming back down. Less than 10 seconds. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and there's a break. One more set. Got this. Got this. Almost there. I think we have a fun workout today, but I always think we have a fun workout. And I know that sometimes people disagree. But as always, I take suggestions, I take feedback. You can leave in the comments if you want stuff to work on that I don't normally include. Totally open to it. Okay, let's get ready for our last round in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. More seconds. Almost there. Almost. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Snuck in an extra. Okay. Excellent. Our last one is going to be our penguin crunches. Penguin crunches we've done in class before. These should be familiar if you've been doing this for a while. So still on the back. This one, you do have to have the knees up. Feet are about hip width apart. Lifting the shoulders off the ground, keeping the chin tucked in towards the chest so that your neck doesn't strain. And then you're just crunching to the side, reaching for the ankles. If you can't reach the ankles, it doesn't matter. You're still crunching towards the side. So you want to try not to let your hips shift. It's just a little crunch, like, again, picture there's like an axis at your belly button and you're rotating around it. I don't know which way it would go. This way. It would be like a pull through your belly button and you'd be rotating to either side of it. Okay? Same thing, 30 seconds. Feels good to lie down right now. Okay. In 3, hang on, 2, 1, and head up, side to side. It's called a penguin crunch because if you look at a penguin walking, it's kind of like same little movement, but also just sounds cute. Ten more seconds here. And 3, 2, 1, and break. Ooh, let's see if I can crack my back. Nope. Don't worry about me. I have some back inflammation issues. Sometimes core work gets to them, but it's fine. Okay, round 2 in 3, 2, 1, boom. Five more seconds. And 3, 2, 1. Take a break. One more set. So close to being done with the core. And then we're moving into some sumo deadlifts. I almost said squats, but we're not doing squats. We're doing sumo deadlifts. I'm not sure if we've done these in class before, but never fear, because I'm going to tell you how to do it, and it's all going to be fine. They're fun. They're basically like regular deadlifts, but with a wide stance. Nothing too out of the ordinary. Okay. In 3, 2, 1, up we go. Ten more seconds. And 3, 2, 1, and done. Beautiful. Okay. That's a wrap on the core. Moving into whoop. Adjustment. There we go. Moving into our sumo deadlift. So I'm going to be using a kettlebell for these, but you can really use, again, any weight that you have on hand, any household object, anything with a little bit of heft to it. Or you can use like 2 hand weights as well, totally fine. What matters here is your body positioning, not so much what type of weight you're holding. So for the sumo deadlift, I'll show you multiple angles so you can see what's going on here. So from the side first, same as your regular deadlift. Well, actually, no, let's do front. Except you've got like a sumo squat stance. So legs are wide and toes are pointing out. And then from there, your weight is aiming between your feet always. And then same as your regular deadlift, you're hinging through the hips. So stick your butt back, like you're trying to close a door behind you, break down a wall, knock something over with your bum. Keeping the back nice and flat. Try not to arch the back. So not here. You want to keep the core engaged. And then squeezing the glutes all the way up to standing. You also want to keep your shoulder blades engaged, especially if your weight is on the heavier side, because if you're letting the shoulder blades go, you can see how my upper back is rounding. Keep them locked and engaged. Slight bend in the knee to accommodate not locking the knee out. And that's it. Coming down towards the ground, squeezing up to the top. And then from the front, we're here. Head stays even with the rest of the body. Coming down between the feet, squeezing up to the top. That's it. That's all. All right, let's go for round 1. I'm going to do 12 reps as we have been doing the past 4 weeks, 5 weeks. We're looking for an 8 to 12 rep range. Somewhere in that zone is going to be the sweet spot. So pick the rep range that feels right for you. And let's do it. Let's go. When you get to the end of your rep range, you're going to take a break. I'm going to take 30 seconds. As per usual, you can take more than that if you would like, less than that if you would like. Anywhere in the 0 to 60 second range is completely fine. All right, couple more seconds to rest, and then we're heading into round 2. All right, here we go. Nice wide stance. Pressing back. Let's do it. Press back through the bum. When you get to the end of your rep range, take a break. Make sure you're really focusing on squeezing those glutes on the way up. Don't let your lower back get involved more than it absolutely has to. Okay, there's 12. And, whoops, another break. One more set, just one. Actually, no, I'll keep it. I have a love-hate relationship with my mat. Sometimes it feels annoying and like sticky in a bad way. You know, like the material is very grippy, and I don't always want that on my feet. Anyway, that's a me problem. All right, let's go into our last set. When you're ready, final sumo deadlifts. When you get to the end of your reps, take a break. That's it. All right. Return the mat to its proper place. All right, sumo deadlifts are done. We're moving into some curtsy lunges, which we've done many, many times in class. Let me just run through form really quickly. I'm going to be using my kettlebells on these, just holding down at the sides. So whatever weights you have, you can just have them hanging at the sides. If you don't want to use weights and just want to do body weight for these, again, totally okay. Just go with what feels good, what feels like enough of a challenge. For curtsy lunges, front view, you're stepping back at a diagonal, dropping down, coming back to center, back at a diagonal, dropping down, back to center. Side view, back at a diagonal, right angle in the front leg, right angle in the back leg, back to center, upper body stays nice and upright. So I see this a lot in curtsy lunges. You want to stay centered. We're doing 10 on each side, all one side, and then all the other side, unless you really want to alternate, but alternating takes longer. And it makes it feel more endless than it needs to be. So make sure you have room to step. And when you're ready, let's go for it. Make sure you're breathing. When you get to 10 on one side, switch over to the other. Three more for me, and then I'm taking a break. 30 seconds. There it is. Okay. If you're wondering why we do curtsy lunges, it's a little bit more work for the glutes than for the quads. So when you're doing a regular lunge, of course the glutes are working. But the curtsy lunge, because of the angle that you're at, you should feel that the front leg, so here, activating a little bit more, sort of in the abductor glute medius area. Your glute medius, you got maximus, it's like the main booty, and then medius is like under and a little bit higher, and then minimus is the tiniest one, appropriately named minimus. Okay, round 2, 10 per side. Let's do it. Or 8 to 12, again, whatever your rep range is that feels good. And then switch when you reach the end of your rep range. You just get the heart rate going, a little bit of cardio, snuck in. Actually, it's not even sneaking, it's just blatantly in there. All right, second break, one more set, and then we're moving into our last leg exercise, which will be squats. Squats. That's funny. I actually don't love squats that much. They're very good for you, but I feel like there's a lot of controversy about form. Some people are real sticklers for very particular form, and it can make them feel very intimidating when they're not, because there are specific pieces of form that you have to pay attention to, but in general, they're not as hard as they're made out to be. Okay, last set. Let's do it. Try not to look at your feet as you're doing this. Try to keep your head up again. The less time we can spend with our necks dropped, the better. It's called tech neck or phone neck. It's really bad for your upper spine. So the more you can keep your head up and think about your posture, the better. I forget all the time. Stare at the ground when I walk. Regardless, I don't really text and walk because I don't like not being aware of my surroundings. I feel like I always look at the sidewalk in front of me rather than up ahead. That's not good either. Okay, when you get to your last rep, it is time for a break. We're finishing up the legs with some squats. I'm going to be doing rack squats. So with my kettlebells, whatever you have for weights is what you will be using. And you're going to hold them up under the chin, like by the collarbone or by the shoulders. Excuse me, hiccups. And squatting down. So squat stance, squat form. I'll tell you what I mean. So the sticklers say that your butt has to be parallel or below. You have to have your chest in line with your shins, all this other stuff. Not everybody is built like that. Like, yes, sometimes it's a muscle imbalance that makes posture go haywire, but sometimes somebody is hip dominant versus quad dominant. I'm hip dominant, so when I squat, I lean a little bit more forward rather than, see, it's too uncomfortable for me to be back and upright. That's just the way that my body works. So if that is the way your body works, it's okay. Doesn't mean you can't squat. But if squatting straight down and keeping an upright chest is comfortable for you, I'm sorry, I can't even do it because my body physically can't do it. Then that's the way you squat. The things that you do want to pay attention to are keeping your chest up. So even if you have a forward lean, you'll notice that my chest is not folding in. It is still up and open. And then the other thing is you want to keep your toes pointing straight ahead. So feet are parallel. You don't want to be squatting. That's a plie. That's a ballet move. It's not what we're doing here today. That's pretty much it. Try not to arch the lower back so we're not squatting like that. You want to keep the core engaged. And then I had one more thing. Squat depth. So if you don't feel comfortable coming down to parallel, then just don't do it. Sometimes it's a mobility issue. Sometimes people's knees bother them. If you have knee issues, hip issues, just don't get low. It's fine. Or even if it just doesn't feel good enough on your muscles yet, even if you're working up to getting parallel, it will still help build the muscles that you need to get lower. So if you need to squat to here and that feels good and like a challenge, do it. Do it. Don't let anybody be like, yeah, to get lower. Just do it. Do what feels right. Okay, that's it. That's my rant. Feet can be between hip and shoulder width apart. I tend to stand wider because it's more comfortable for me. Again, weights up under the chin. Let's go. Round one. I'm doing 10 of these. When you get to the end of your reps, take a break. I lost count. I think this is 10. Okay. Take a break. I'm taking 30 seconds. The sweat is running full force. Sorry, water bottle made a weird noise. 2 more sets of squats, and then those leggy legs are done. Now we're going into some push-ups. Oh my gosh. How excited are you? I know. Okay. Round 2. All right, second break, heading into our third set. Almost there, almost there. Whew. Whew. 10 more seconds to rest. For me, if you're taking longer, take longer. Again, try not to go over a minute. It's not like super duper important, but just make sure that your muscles stay warm. We get them warm for a reason. And you don't want to let them get cold. Okay. Last round. Almost there. Heck yeah. Okay. Okay. Legs are done. We're going into a push-ups, which means I probably need to adjust my angle. As always. It's never ending. One of my goals for this year is to get myself a better webcam. That would be very, very nice. All right, for push-ups today, our usual options: wall, countertop, couch, knees, toes, anything in between. Any surface that's stable that feels good. Form, same as always. Arms are coming back 45 degrees. I almost said 90 degrees. They're not here. They're not here. They're here. Pelvis, forward. Glutes engaged. Keep it strong. It'll help keep the core engaged, and it'll help the lower back from flopping around and getting hurt. And then don't let your head come forward as you push up, or no, as you come down in the push-up. Try not to turtle the head. Yeah, so option 1, regular push-up. Option 2, that I'm going to be doing today, is a push-up with a rotation into a side plank, which means I'll be doing 10, 5 to each side, but as always, 8 to 12 rep range. So if you're doing the rotation, what that looks like is this. So feet are actually going to be a little bit wider than you would normally have them for a push-up, so that when you rotate, they don't like collide into each other. So from here, push up and twist. If you're doing push-ups from your knees, you can do it too. Push up and twist. You're just rotating on the knees. Push up, other direction, twist. Okay, so a little bit of balance, a little bit of extra core work for the obliques involved on this one. Just involving more muscles is always a good idea. Compound movements for the win. Okay, let's do it. Let's get into our first round. Again, pipping. Oh my goodness. Words are hard. Picking the rep range that feels right for you, please. By the end of this class, I will have no words left, or they'll just be all the wrong words. Okay. When you get to the end of your set, take a moment to rest. More than a moment. So, speaking of rest times, I generally take a little bit longer in between push-ups, because push-ups are hard. I find them more difficult than any other movement, probably, honestly. It's just not my strong point. So, I take 40 seconds, like an extra 10 seconds in between sets, just to get a little bit of extra rest time. Part of rest time is mental too, by the way. You're not just resting your muscles, you're giving your brain time to wrap itself around doing more sets. You're basically saying, oh, hi there. There we go. Like, get ready, get prepared, giving it time to prepare yourself mentally. Okay, round 2, when you're ready. Whew. Oh yes. 2 done, 1 to go. Now, if you're doing the rotations, you might be wondering, why are they harder than regular push-ups? Because you got more time in between each push-up. Wrong. You're keeping your weight balanced on, excuse me, all the bubbles coming up. You're keeping your weight balanced on one arm. So yes, there's more time between each push-up, but that time is taken up by working one of your arms harder, by keeping it tense, essentially, as you rotate. So what's going to get more tired on this one is your shoulders. Everything else will probably be fine, but because your shoulders are in that pattern of rotation, they're taking a lot of weight, they will get tired. They will get fatigued. Okay, I took almost a minute on that one. Let's do one more set. That's what happens when I start talking, yammering away. All right. If you all get tired of me talking and just want me to do the exercises, you can let me know. I just get wrapped up in like my little fitness nerd brain. I'm like, I want to share all these facts. And I think it is important for you to know why you're doing what you're doing, why you're feeling the things you're feeling. All right. Yes, that's a wrap on those. Okay, now I can get rid of my mat that I love/hate. Okay, we are moving on to some single arm rows, which means another adjustment. Okay, there we go. Let's see if that works. So for the single arm rows, I personally am going to be using one of my 15-pound kettlebells. Stashed. So single arm row with a split stance. One of my favorite upper body exercises. You will need one weight for this, preferably on the heavier side. So you can combine 2 weights if you have them. Like if you have like 2 or 3 pound weights, they're generally small enough that you can hold them both in one hand. That's what we're doing. Or if you have a single heavier weight, gallon jug of water works really well, or like a liter bottle of water. If it has a handle or something that you can grip like a small cap, then you can use that. Anyway, form. One leg forward, one leg back. The leg that's back is going to be on the same side as the weight. Then you are bracing forward over the front leg. You want your back to be almost parallel to the ground if possible. And then pulling up and back with the weight. Now, I know I mentioned this last week when we were doing our rows. What you want to avoid is pulling up like this. See how sharp the angle in my shoulder or my elbow is, and see how my shoulder is like crunched up around my ear. Drop the shoulder, increase the angle. So it's going to be 90 degrees as you pull up. Okay? We're doing 12 on each side right after I grab this sip of water. Okay, let's do it. running through my head for weeks after that. Okay. Pulling up. 412. When you get to 12 on one side, you were doing the exact same thing on the other. So switching your stance. Ooh, this is also a nice calf stretch if your calves are tight. Try to maintain a nice flat back. And when you get to the end of your set, take a break. Again, I am back to 30 seconds. Just because for me, personally, this is not as challenging as the push-ups, like not even close. So less rest time. But again, for you, if you need up to a minute, take up to a minute. If your weights are pretty light and after 10 seconds, you're like, I am ready to go, Eliza. None of this 30-second crap. Then start again on your second set. Totally fine. Okay, round 2 for me. Make sure you're, again, breathing. Generally, you want to exhale as you're doing the work. So as you pull up on this one. And other side when you're ready. Oh, my left calf loves this. Loves this stretch. Almost there. Sort of. And when you get to the end of your set, break number 2. And we're heading into our last set. Almost there. One more arm exercise after this. We're doing another little compound movement, little combo exercise, hammer curl, and an overhead press, smashed into one. Beautiful little sandwich. And then that's it. You are free to go about your Wednesday. Unless you're in like a very different time zone, in which case it might be a different day for you, but I don't think I have any Australians or Kiwis watching. Okay. Last round. Here we go. Almost there. Switching sides. Right now. You got this. Almost there. There we go. Okay. When you're done with your set, take a break. We are moving into our last upper body exercise / our last exercise period. It's going to be it for today. Maybe it's just me, but I feel like this hour went fast. Okay, we're doing a hammer curl into an overhead press. What does that look like, you ask? Let me show you. Hammer curl. Hands are staying facing each other, curling up to the shoulders, and then straight up overhead, straight back down, down to the sides. So, things to think about. This movement is a complete movement. So it is not just the curl up and then you can kind of just flop. No. The curl down is equally important. So take your time on that. The other thing is when you're doing your overhead press, Don't let the shoulders tent up around the ears. So when you're here, you don't want to crunch up like this. Keep them dropped. Okay? That's it. Core engaged, glutes engaged. You know, the usual. So let's get going. Let's do round one. Why not? Okay, I'm going for like 8 to 10 on these, depending on how much my shoulders love or hate these 10-pound weights. But again, 8 to 12 rep range. Pick your favorite number in there. And don't let the weights swing at the bottom. Every part of this movement is controlled. Ooh, shoulder pop. Okay, I'm going for 12. There we go. 8 and 10 were not enough. Okay, 30 seconds to rest, and then we're popping into round two. Gotta clean off my audio buds here. Sorry, I know it's gross, but apparently my ears sweat. Did you know that you sweat from your ears? I guess it's a thing, because they start to fall out. Not my ears, the earbuds. It would be weird if my ears started falling out. That would be concerning. Okay, going for round two. Here we go. And up, down, down. Almost there. Last one. Okay. Last break. And then one more set. And oh my goodness, we're done. What do you know? You've almost made it through. Almost done. I say these encouraging things for myself as well, by the way. I think it's important to keep yourself motivated. Verbal affirmations. My love language is words of affirmation. And so I have to give them to myself when there aren't other people around. Actually, you should be giving yourself affirmations anyway. Other people should not need to validate you. Okay, last one. All right, final two for me. Almost there. Yeah. Yeehaw. Okay. There we go then. There we go. It's a wrap, folks. Thank you so much for joining. As always, I continue to appreciate it more than words can say. I'm just keeping the schedule going every Wednesday. So next Wednesday, I'll actually be able to do 10 a.m. on the dot rather than 10:05. So hopefully I'll see you 10 a.m. next week. And then coming up in 2 weeks, or like a week from this weekend, there will be more cardio. So as always, please subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. Tell your friends and family. Keep safe, eat well, rest well, all that good stuff. And yeah, I'll see you next time.